My husband teaches me how to do nice things. Just
anything.
sometimes a little humor.
Get your story out.
Hey everybody, how are you doing tonight? Good? All right. Is everyone housed? Yes? A room in LA where everybody's housed. That is a major feat. Yeah. I'm here tonight because I advocate for housing justice, and there are very few things I will not do to get people off the streets and into permanent housing. And as that turns out, now stand-up comedy is one of them. So, my first time, fingers crossed. I believe housing's a human right, and I think everyone deserves to live in adequate housing where you can have safety, security, and also dignity. It's really that simple. But solving homelessness, that gets complicated between the city of LA, the county of LA, 83 incorporated cities, and LAHSA, not to be confused with Hopix, Hacla, and La Casa. Yeah, I really think it should just be called a clusterfuck. Yeah. So I decided I was going to make my voice heard in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. So I remember the day I made that decision. It was here in Santa Monica, right around this time of year. It was super hot that day. And I was at the grocery store around lunchtime downtown. So that way, remember the Vons on Lincoln at Broadway? Yeah, the Vons that's gone. Something else now? Yeah. So I was in that parking lot. It's around lunchtime, and I was looking around. People are sleeping and living in the parking lot. It smelled like urine. People are shopping for food, and then homeless people are begging for food. This didn't work for anybody, housed or unhoused. Sorry. So at that time, I was pissed off, and I was pacing back and forth. This doesn't work for anybody. And I remember this woman pulled up, about my age, in a Lexus. She had her 2 kids with her, and as soon as she got out of her car, I looked right at her and I hollered, "We are fixing this!" And I'm making my voice heard in Sacramento and Washington. Holy crap. She jumped back in her car, grabbed the wheel, pulls out. I grab my suitcase and I run away. And then she drove through my living room. Because, as it turns out, when you are in your living room summoning the courage to take action, you're determined, you're focused. When I was living in a parking lot and hollering at strangers, I was just a crazy homeless lady. And I was unhoused in LA County for 2.5 years. Now here is the thing. Everyone that's unhoused needs help. Not everyone that's unhoused actually qualifies for help. And I really struggled with that. My biggest barrier was actually my status. I'm an unaccompanied woman, or as J.D. Vance calls us. Should we do this all at the same time? Childless cat ladies. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. And, but it's real. We're really lonely out there. When you're unhoused, you're all by yourself. And I didn't even have a cat. I still don't. No. So, anyway, so we're not a priority. Here's the thing, too. I don't face the biggest barrier to housing in this country, and that's race. As a white woman on the West Side, when I was standing with my suitcases, hand to God, people thought I was traveling. They did, and they would ask me, "Are you going to LAX? Are you going on a trip?" Or they'd say, "Did you just get back from LAX? Are you waiting for a lift home?" Little did they know I was home on that sidewalk. It was so frustrating. But I played along with them, and I created a method to survive on the streets. Just act like you're housed. And I did. And I'll tell you what, I gave pitch perfect performances. Sean Penn would have been very proud because I just blended in as much as I could because I was very scared. And I remember at one point, I remembered my Marriott Bonvoy and my Hilton Honors numbers. So I migrated closer to LAX. And what I would do, I would go into the hotel and I would go to the concierge and I would say, I already checked out, but will you check my bags for me? I'm not flying out till later tonight. Then I would stay in the hotel all day. And I would enjoy the pool and the business center and the gym. I'll tell you what, in that era, I brought new meaning to bougie homelessness. Definitely. Definitely. Too bad I didn't actually have the points for a hotel room. Or as an unaccompanied woman, too bad I didn't actually qualify for a motel voucher. But besides sleeping outside, I didn't have case management for the longest time. And I remember I finally got someone on the county on the phone. And she said to me, Miss Reeder, what spa are you in? I'm like, I'm not in a fucking spa. I mean, I was in a hotel lobby, but I was not in a spa. And then she explained, no, a spa is a service planning area. And Los Angeles County is divided into 8 spas. And Miss Reeder, there's no need to use foul language. Okay, 2 problems with that. 1, if homeless people need to know what spa they're in, then the county needs to hang a shit ton of signs, right? Other problem, don't mess with my swearing. That was the only joy. Yeah, that was the only joy I had at the time, definitely. Okay, so, beyond my status as an unaccompanied woman, my next barrier, I don't suffer from mental illness. Not that I don't have mental health challenges. We all do in the housed or the unhoused community. So I don't register high enough on the acuity scale they use to decide who gets care or not. Damn it. I mean, I kind of needed that. So one time I remember pressing my therapist for a diagnosis. Like, what is my diagnosis? Long pause. So I'm waiting with bated breath. Do tell. Long pause. Here's what she said. You know, you're a tad neurotic. What? No. I am completely neurotic. Completely neurotic. I've lived here most of my adult life, but I didn't grow up here. So I'm from Philly, Jersey Turnpike, New York. Yo, we are all neurotic from that part of the country. And we can be uncouth and unruly. Have you watched our sports fans? They are brutal. Anyways, back to my fateful day in the Vaughn's parking lot. Okay, so the day I decided I was going to make my voice heard in Sacramento and Washington, D.C., and we're fixing this. We need to address this homeless crisis. So as I was going to sleep that night, I was laying on the pavement. I had my head on my pillow, on the curb as my pillow, extra, extra firm. And I was actually kind of inspired. I felt like I had a purpose, you know, and I never looked back. Here's the weird part, though. When I woke up that morning in the Vaughn's parking lot, I was trying to decide if I was going to take up heavy drinking or if I was going to start smoking pot. I had to do something to numb myself. It is awful in the streets. So I'm like, start drinking, smoke pot. Start drinking, smoke pot. And the thing about it is I'm such a lightweight. I'm a shitty addict. That is a major barrier to getting homeless services as well. So, between not having a dependent child, not being mentally ill to the point where I scored high enough, and not having addiction issues, I was shit out of luck. So that's when I did what any unhoused, unaccompanied, uncouth, foul-mouthed, and completely neurotic woman would do. I self-medicated on advocacy and activism. And let me tell you, I was jonesing for justice. I was. All right. I joined pro-housing groups. I joined renters' rights groups. Then I got into human rights causes. I was completely hooked. I chased that dragon to Sacramento on 3 lobbying trips. Total addict. Then I went on a bender last summer. When I got to Washington, D.C., I went to a housing justice summit. I went to a national conference. Then I lobbied on Capitol Hill. All because I decided one day when I was living in a parking lot, I was going to do this. But I will tell you, that night, after being in the halls of Congress, I hit my advocaholic bottom. Whoa. I'm in recovery now. Things are going okay, one day at a time. But I did make it to the state capitol and the nation's capital. Yay! So take that, Lexus lady. Yeah. So now it's time for me to move forward and come up with some new goals. So storytelling, comedy set, check. Did not see this one coming. But so much has changed for me over the last 4 years. You know, going from housing insecurity to being unhoused. Then I finally did find shelter and then housed again. I'll tell you. And here in Santa Monica with Community Corp. But yeah, Community Corp. But it has been a lot, and a lot of therapy. But even with my housing stability, I have to tell you, I get scared sometimes because since the bottom fell out once, I'm afraid that could happen again. So please promise me, if you ever see me on the sidewalk with my luggage, please just buy me a bottle of vodka. Because if I hit the streets again, I will start drinking on day 1. Absolutely. I cannot do that again. I am completely exhausted. Completely. I don't know about you, but I could use a real spa day. Thank you.